Here's Johnny.
The upcoming NFL season is right around the corner. And for the first time in a long time, there is actually hope in the state of Georgia. While Peach State fans will always have the Bulldogs to look forward to, it has been a hard time to look forward to an NFL season as a Falcons fan since 2017. And if you're like me, 2017 only feels like it's 2 years ago. But it's 7 years. 7 years of no playoffs. 7 years of mediocrity. 7 years of being stuck in a seemingly bottomless pit. And honestly, just months ago, it seemed like the Falcons were digging themselves even deeper into the pit. On draft night, the Falcons came out of right field and selected Michael Penix Jr. Safe to say, I wasn't exactly a fan of the pick. However, Penix went on to play extremely well in his first preseason game. Penix was throwing with timeliness and accuracy, and a benefit of his age is that he looked extremely composed while doing it. Penix was testing the defense, stretching the field, and was composed in the pocket. His arm talent was also on display, and he truly did look good, and has started to turn my opinion around on him. And Coach Raheem Morris seemed even more happy with his play by having him not play in preseason week 2, saying he saw enough. So the Falcons didn't exactly dig their pit deeper on draft night until Braylon Trice got hurt. Trice was the Falcons' biggest investment on draft night and into the edge rush this offseason. The edge group last season was horrible, truly bad. Trice was supposed to help save that unit. Instead, he got injured in his first game and is out for the season. But these aren't the Falcons of old. GM Terry Fontenot immediately went out and acquired New England edge rusher Matthew Judon. Judon was injured for a majority of last year, but before that he was a 4-time straight Pro Bowler. Judon offers an instant boost on the edge, and he might as well be the greatest pass rusher the Falcons have seen this century. Speaking of the best player the Falcons have had at a position this century, how about Justin Simmons? DeMarco Ellams, the believed starting safety for the Falcons, also went down with an injury and is out for the season. And yet again, Fontenot got to work immediately and signed free agent Justin Simmons. Simmons is a 4-time All-Pro and one of the most dominant safeties in the past 25 years. He joins a team that has lacked elite safety play for a long time. Simmons will pair with Jesse Bates to be one of the best 1-2 punches over the top in the NFL. While the Falcons' corner group is still extremely weak, they got a huge boost with 2 high-caliber players who can help them over the top. This team truly feels different, and we haven't even gotten to the coaching or the offensive side of the ball. The Falcons fired Arthur Smith. That alone should be enough for them to win a Super Bowl. I'm kidding, of course, but one of the worst play callers in Atlanta history is now stinking it up in Pittsburgh. Sorry, Steelers. While the Falcons didn't get one of the best play callers on the market, they did bring back old friend Raheem Morris. Morris was a failure in Atlanta as a head coach. Morris was a great defensive coordinator during his time, but eventually got his shot as head coach and was poor. However, he was extremely young, and insiders believe now that he is a veteran, he should be a much better HC. He was a good leader when he was in Atlanta, but now brings the experience of a true play caller and knows the ins and outs of the business. And with Morris, he brings Zach Robinson from the Rams as our new offensive coordinator. Robinson is described as the next great young mind in the same tree as Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay. Robinson was on the offensive staff with the Rams and inherits a similar situation. He has a QB that is old and banged up, but has top 10 upside and has a boatload of good talent. And on the defensive play calling, Jimmy Lake joins the staff. Lake is an all-timer in terms of play calling. While I have said my love for Ryan Nielsen in the past, Lake might be one of the only few upgrades there were. It will be interesting to see how he implements his 3-4 defense, which is very different in terms of desired personnel than Nielsen's. Of course, Lake inherits Nielsen's personnel, and it's not his usual standard 3-4. I think Lake will be able to have great success despite it, though. And now, the fun part, the offensive side of the ball. The Falcons obviously brought in Kirk Cousins, and I'll let Old Joe explain his thoughts.
Shortly after free agency opened, the Atlanta Falcons signed quarterback Kirk Cousins. He just spent his last years with the Minnesota Vikings, and in my opinion, this was the right quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons to sign. I thought he was the best out there. However, he does come with some concerns. He just tore his Achilles last season, and while he was on pace to perhaps have an MVP-like season, that Achilles injury is rough. It really hurts your lower body, which is important for a quarterback. $180 million for 4 years seems like a lot, especially for a man who's going into his age 36 season. Now, that's just my opinion. I think it is too much, especially with not knowing how his Achilles will affect him and his age. Now, in my opinion, I would have liked Gardner Minshew for the money, but I think Kirk Cousins was the right move. I think he's still got some age with him, and he's shown he's a trooper. Believe it or not, he's only missed a couple games before this Achilles tear. Because of all that, the contract brings this down.
Outside of Kirk Cousins, the Falcons really didn't do much. They brought in Darnell Mooney and a couple of other pieces. The key thing, though, is they didn't have to do much. Arthur Smith is gone, and that might be all the offense needs to succeed. So, for the first time in nearly a decade, Falcons fans truly have something to look forward to. The team has its best roster it's had in a long while. The coaching staff seems extremely solid. And for the first time in over 5 years, the team is favored to make the playoffs, according to various sportsbooks. Falcons fans went through hell these past years, and with Kirko Chains and company, it finally seems like there is light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you for watching Peach State Sports. If you would like another one of these videos, please let me know down below. Also, like, subscribe, watch my reels and live streams, and I'll see you next time.